yo, Brainiacs. Welcome to the Johnson County Road Video Hour.
But it's not an hour.
Ooh, baby.
Chapter 11.
Chapter 11? Dang.
Skipping around a little
Jump
bit.
ahead.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Oh, that's one of our vocabulary words.
Alright, so there's not going to be any vocab tests, but you need to know what these things are. What's the mean?
The mean is what I mean, man. Ruh-roh. The mean is the average, basically. It's the sum of the data values divided by the number of data values. So if you got 4 things, add them up, divide by 4.
Okay.
It's just another word for average.
Median. If there's the median in the highway, that is the
Middle.
middle. So we're looking for the middle number in the data set.
What if there's 2 numbers? What is that even amount? And there isn't a median.
Then you should find the mean of the middle 2.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Mode.
Mode sounds like most.
Okay, so that is the most frequently occurring.
Value or values.
There could be more than one, yep. Which brings us to our next one, a bimodal data set.
Oh.
It's something that has two modes, but if there are ever more than 2, we say that they're not really statistically useful.
Bother.
What's an outlier?
It's a number that lies on the outer edges. And, oh Nelly.
You know, this thing
What's
is
happening?
It's because I did a big box and I'm just trying to uncover bit by bit. So it's a value that is substantially different from the rest of the data in a set. Can be misleading because of their effect on measures of central tendencies.
So it kind of throws it off.
Do you have any examples for that kids might understand?
Maybe like snowfall or something. Usually we'll get, 6 or 7 inches average a day, but sometimes we have a gigantic storm and there might be 25 inches, but that would throw off
It's going to throw off your average. Yeah.
So
Right,
6 or 7 makes more sense.
Right. So, test scores or something like that, if somebody bombs the test, gets a 2%, that's going to throw off your average.
That brings the whole class down, but overall the class did well.
Right. So sometimes it's important to look at multiple measures of central tendency to make some decisions about data. Also, if you take statistics someday, you're going to do some calculations to find outliers, and for now we're just going to do like your opinion. Do you think it's significantly more
So
or
you must
less?
have an opinion on these things.
All right. How about the range?
The range is kind of from the high to the low.
Yes. So it's the difference between the greatest and the least values.
So you just subtract the high minus the low and you get your range.
Nice. Quartiles.
Quartile, quart means 4.
All right.
So,
Get rid of that.
alright, that's it. So quartiles are values separating the 4 parts of data. And that median is the middle, or half of the data, of half the data.
So it's like the median of the lower half and the median of the upper half.
Yeah, so cutting things in pieces of 4.
Nice. Interquartile range.
Inter means between. So the difference between the 3rd and the 1st quartile. Got it.
Okay. So we're going to start with something that is actually not in the textbook, but we'll give you a moment to go ahead and copy down that table, that data set.
Okay. Hopefully you turned off your sound and everything, but if not, turn it off now and do it. Okay, we're coming back. Alright, sometimes ordering data can be the toughest part about some of the statistical stuff. Once you have it ordered, things make a lot more sense.
So do you remember doing a stem and leaf plot? I don't even remember what grade we learned that in.
Oh man, that was definitely intermediate or middle school.
Yeah. So all of the data that's listed in that little table, it's not in order, but it's 2-digit data. Like I see some small scores in the 30s, and then I see the biggest one I think is in the 80s. So we can set up what's called a stem and leaf plot. So you put 1 digit on one side. So this will represent the 30s and the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, etc. That's called the stem. Then we go through each score and we record it in the appropriate spot. So the first score is 63. I already have the 6, so we just write the 3 part of that and then cross it off the list.
It's important to cross it off. Otherwise, if you miss one, you'll drive yourself crazy.
So the next one, 57, so I'll put a 7 here, cross it off the list, 39, etc. Go ahead and hit pause, complete your stem and leaf plot, and we will do the same.
Ooh, well that was magical. Alrighty, Now
Okay,
we've got them all kind of organized, they're still not totally in order.
but this will help us write an ordered list. The last thing we did when we were making our stem and leaf plot, when we got done, we know that there's supposed to be 26, so I counted all the leaves on our stem and leaf plot to make sure that we have 26.
Must be the fall because our leaves are red.
Oh, okay. All right, so the smallest number in our data set, if we look here, obviously it's going to be in the 30s. So what was the very smallest number?
33,
Okay, then the next number in order would be,
39,
and then,
42.
okay, so if you get the hint, we're going to now go ahead and hit pause and continue.
Magic is going to happen.
Yeah, that's right. Oh Lord, if only they could be so nice in the room when
Yeah.
we're recording.
We had trouble. But we're back.
We're back.
And we're in business here.
All right, so now we have a nice ordered list. Again, the last thing I did was I counted all those numbers and made sure I had 26.
Okay, now half of 26 is 13.
13. So there is no exact middle when we're
Right.
being asked to find the median.
Ah, yeah. So
So
we do what, 13 and 14?
we look at the 13th and 14th rank. So I'm going to count them out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14 would be here. So we are looking for the number between those two. That would be the average. That's going to be 61.5, halfway between those two.
1.5 between them.
Okay, so that is the median. If you have an odd number of values, you would just pick whatever is directly in the middle.
Ah, yes.
I also see a lot of kids, I think in maybe their previous classes, they like cross out to get to that. That works, but you might be there all day long. Like they'll cross out one on each end, then they'll go and cross out the
Oh.
next on each end
Oh,
and keep
yeah,
crossing.
just count.
All right, cool.
Good job.
Oops. Not sure what happened there. All right, so this is another way that the data might be presented to you. That's in a frequency table. So this table shows the number of trees in a yard of each house on the street. So we're actually, the data is the number of trees.
Got it.
The yards tells us how many times that sample or whatever came about. So I could also use this to make my longhand list. So how many yards had 3 trees in them?
Just one.
So that means if I were doing my list in order, I would put a 3 just one time.
Got it.
And then the next one would be 4 trees in the yard. That happened 5 times.
So they're already in order. That's kind of nice.
Yeah. And some of you will be able to do this without making the long list. But I'm just going to show it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then. Did I get them all?
Got it.
Again, if you want to double check, you could add up all of these numbers. 1 plus 5 is 6, plus 7 more would be,
13.
what did I just say? 1 plus 6 plus 7, 13, okay. 17, 18, 19, and if I count my samples, I should have 19.
All right.
Good way to keep checking. All right, first question, Mrs. Kendro, are there any outliers in our data set?
I don't think so. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those are all kind of close together.
If we had a yard that had 27 trees, that'd be an
That'd be
outlier.
an outlier.
For sure. Way too significantly different for
Right.
the rest. All right, first one, find the mean,
We
median,
do the
and the
average.
mode.
Okay.
All right, so mean, we could just sit with our calculator and add up all those numbers. But if you're
We know multiplication.
we do know multiplication, so I know I'm going to have to take 3. We're going to do the mean first. 3 and add it to this many 4s, which is really just,
Ah, 20.
yeah, because we're multiplying 4 times 5, that's going to give us 20, just like she said. Maybe I'll just write that in like that. Okay, what about the next one?
5 times 7 is 35.
Okay,
6 times 4 is 24. 7 and 8.
because those were both times 1.
Right. And then we
Divide by 19. All right, so what's the sum of all of those things? We're going to add them all up. All right, when we add up the numerator, we get 97. Divide that by 19, what'd you get?
5.105. So 1, 1.
Okay. I think that's good. That's our mean. What about the median? Now we have 19 yards.
Oh, that's odd, so there will be a middle one.
So how are you going to do that?
Well, you can cut it in half. and to get the closest one, or you can think above and below the same
That's what
amount.
I think.
So 18 would mean 9 above, 9 below.
So
we pick the
the
10th.
10th item would be the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you're not sure, count how many are on each side, and it should be the same.
Got it.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm just double checking. That is the median that we just put our little box around there. That is 5. How do we find, what's a quick way to find the most occurring? It's pretty obvious, but
Look at the yards.
yeah, look at the frequency table back here. It is very obvious that this is the most occurring number, so therefore 5 trees.
Yeah,
Do you notice that those are all pretty close together?
I do notice that.
I would say the mean and the median are almost always similar. The mode, however, not the case. All right, what's the range of the data set? So remember, that's asking you what's the difference between the highest number and the lowest number in the data set.
Well, by golly, I think that's a 5 also.
Yeah, that's a coincidence. The range is 5. Okay, last one. Find the quartiles in the interquartile range. Put a little note on here, this gets tricky. When finding the quartiles, we do not include the median in each half of the data. So remember that 5 that I put the box around, that's the middle, we're not going to include it. We're just going to look at the 9 values you had on each side.
Okay.
Okay, so let's do that one at a time. The first quartile, also known as the lower quartile. I've seen notation both ways. If we look there, so we're looking at these 9 values. Is there an exact middle?
Yes. Right there.
It's going to be the 5th number. Okay, and then now we're looking at the 3rd quartile, which is also known as the upper quartile.
Fuck.
Okay, it should be 6.
And then the range.
The interquartile range, IQR as we call it, is equal to 6 minus 4, or
Dos.
2. Alright, very good.
Nice.
I think that's all we're doing for today. They're going to get a lot of practice ordering and doing some calculations. And one of these days we're going to show you how to use your TI, either your 30 or your Inspire to do your calculations for you.
Very nice.
All right, we're out of
That's
here.
all for now.